Well, viewers, now today's main topic that we're going to be talking about is the new plan by the Congress government, of course, to revise, make certain changes in the textbooks. The Karnataka government, of course, is currently working on this entire revision of sorts that they're going to do in a few days from now. The Education Minister, of course, has spoken a little while earlier to me, where, of course, he says that in the interests of the students, there is going to be a little bit of changes that are going to be brought in. Yesterday, of course, a meeting was chaired by the Karnataka Chief Minister Saeed Nayan Parikh, where, of course, the Education Minister, several other, professors, academicians and others, of course, were part of this particular meeting. Now, they have, of course, discussed and they have said that there will be certain omissions that will be made and probably a few inclusions as well. Now, the Education Minister, Madhu Bangarappa, of course, claims that the move has been done, or made rather, in the interest of the students, and that the changes will be implemented in the coming weeks. And he also says, of course, within the next 2 weeks, he actually plans to bring in these implementations. BJP, on the other hand, of course, is saying, what's the hurry? And this is just going to affect the future of the students. Let's listen in to some of these reactions that are coming in. With me is Education Minister, Mr. Madhu Bangarappa. Sir, firstly, congratulations on getting into your new office here. First question I'd like to ask you today is that yesterday there was a meeting that was held, chaired by the Chief Minister. You were present as well. A lot of people, including from the previous textbook committee, academicians, all of them were present. We believe some decisions have been taken. Something that you had hinted upon earlier. Certain changes in the textbooks. If you could throw some more light on the meeting yesterday.
Okay, this has been happening from past 10 days after I took over as Minister of this department also. Only one thing is, in our manifesto, we had made it very clear that the textbook, whatever, we have to work out and then delete certain issues and then add certain things in the interest of children. See, this is not about political intentions or anything like that. We have made it very clear that we are going to change, and it is in our manifesto. I am Vice Chairman for manifesto also. 2023 we went to election. In that, I am a Vice Chairman also, and we have made it very clear. One thing I want to make it very clear to all the media, see, we are not doing just because they have saffronized, not saffronized, it's not because of that. We feel that things have changed and it's not good for children's future. So for this, we have technically a professional group which has been doing for a period of time, which keeps changing also. Again, we have put the whole issue on their table, and I am not taking any decision, or any party people, non-party people, only who have got interest and experts in the interest of children's, we are doing this. So we will do it, and since already textbooks have already reached in the hands of children, because before I took over already it was there. So one thing what we have decided, it is minimize the corrections so that it doesn't hurt the system of studying for children, but at the same time we have to address the issue which they are not supposed to read. Okay, that will be given by the technical team or a professional. How soon
are we expecting this order to go out in terms of the changes?
I think this should happen very soon, and I'm trying to bring this, let me see, before next cabinet, and I want a cabinet approval also, so that everything is very systematic.
The next 2 weeks, could we say that's the
might be less than that also. Might be less than that also. I'm working out less than that because we have a program called Setu Bindu, where we don't actually get into the subjects of the children's. We'll be talking about a lot of other things are there. So that is the way schools actually open. So before they come into the chapters, I think these things will be sorted out.
Okay, so we believe that some chapters, including, the chapters on RSS founder Hegde, this was something that was discussed as well.
I will not. I think it's not right for me to, categorize or individually point out what the issues are. No, nothing. See, I'll tell you, subjects are never been discussed with anybody. Our CM, Honorable CM, has told, Chief Minister Sir, Saeed Nayan Parikh Sir has told, please, we have to do it with a professional this thing, and he is personally interested also as much as me also. So we are going to do it, and as far as the deleting and addition and all this process will be done on a professional team, and I'm not going to get involved at all. But we have taken a decision to get into the issue and sort it out. Again, I will reiterate that it is only in the interest of children's. That is underlined.
To come out with right things, the government, instead of doing it on its own, let them look into it, call, invite the experts, talk to them, get the right inputs. Unnecessarily getting into these things without giving time, there's time. They can look next academic year, when it comes to the syllabus and content, they can take there. They know what is the hurry.
हेडगेवार देशभक्त है, देशभक्त था। उनका निकालना मतलब क्या है? इंटॉलरेंस है। वो लोग कार्ल मार्क्स को, माओ को लागू किया है, उसमें वो सब लोगों को टॉलरेंस है। हेडगेवार जी को पढ़ाने में इंटॉलरेंस है।
Well, viewers, the question here is, should education be politicized? Should students really become victims of politicians wanting one thing, the other political party wanting the some other thing, and at the end of the day, why are students year after year being subject to this? Revisions which probably don't even matter to them, something that they shouldn't even bring up. To discuss this, we have a panel of guests joining us. Mohan Krishna from the BJP is with us tonight. We also have Mr. Samrudh Hegde from the Congress party, is a spokesperson as well. Nayan Parikh is an educationist who joins us. Let's ask the Congress first. Well, Mr. Samrudh, yes, last year or in the last couple of years, the BJP has brought in certain changes. I will come to that. The question here is, now these are young students. These are students who don't sit through the year waiting for political parties to come and change their textbooks. They're not going to classrooms thinking about who they're going to vote for in the upcoming elections. They're not even eligible. At the end of the day, these are students who go there to learn, they're there to get quality education. Why is this still a focus? Well, the BJP did it, and once again right now the Congress says they're correcting it. The BJP may come back and they'll once again correct it. What happens to the lives of the students here?
Thank you for having me on the show. Firstly, I would like to say that the students are our top priority. The students of Karnataka are required to be equipped for the globalized and progressive 21st century that we are in. The students are supposed to learn facts and not propaganda. Students consider the textbooks as sacred, and no particular party, the textbook shouldn't act as a mouthpiece of a particular political party. So as our education minister has said, a delegation of academicians have already met the chief minister. We have decided to form a panel with academicians, with scholars, with teachers, with authors, with intellectuals who are experts on the subject, and they will form a technical team and they will review the changes made by the BJP. Now, let me give you a few examples of the changes made by the BJP the last year. They have removed the title of Architect of the Constitution from Baba Saheb Ambedkar. They have removed paragraphs on Guru Basvanna, on Narayana Guru, on Rashtrakavi Kuvempu, and on Bhagat Singh, and have added a paragraph on RSS Chief Hedgewar and a Twitter troll, Chakravarti Sullivan. Now, propaganda into history is one thing. They have brought in propaganda into science. In the CBSE textbooks, they have removed the periodic table and removed the Darwinian theory of evolution. And believe me, the 8th standard textbook in Karnataka contains a paragraph of how Savarkar used to escape from his prison cell through a keyhole and fly on a bulbul and visit India in the night. I mean, are you serious? Are you playing with the future of our children? Our children are supposed to be equipped for the 21st century, and you're taking them back a few decades. Is this what the BJP wants?
Well, Mr. Samrudh, I'd like to ask you, can you assure the viewers here, even probably the students who are watching, that this revision that you're doing is not just going to be to target the BJP, make certain changes that the BJP has brought in? Well, your arguments may be right on certain fronts about certain topics that shouldn't have been there, should have been there. But all that I'm asking is this going to benefit the students? Are you again going to bring in some agenda that the Congress wants? Because it's the students' lives that we're talking about. These are not manifestos of, the BJP or the Congress party. These are textbooks that the students, go to school and try to, imbibe knowledge from. So can the people here be assured that the Congress is going to have only facts which are supposed to be, for the students sacred?
I definitely agree with you. Education should not be politicized in the way that BJP have already done. So what we are going to do, as the education minister already specified...
What different is the Congress going to do now? Is it going to be a tit for tat is the question?
No, Deepak. We are going to form a technical committee with experts who have knowledge on the subject, and we're going to take in the inputs and make minimal changes because the academic year has already begun. So we are going to make minimal changes.
Samrudh, I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that. I'm sorry to interrupt you here, because when you say once again you're forming a committee, you're going to form a technical committee, this is exactly what the BJP termed it. Mr. Mohan Krishna, you did the exact same thing. And, you brought in certain changes. You thought this was right. This is something that the students should learn. Why isn't the focus on, we have nearly, 1 crore students studying in Karnataka. Over 50 lakh of them are in government schools. You're imparting the knowledge that you think is right to, over 50 lakh students in the state of Karnataka. What about the infrastructure? What about the lack of teachers? What about lack of technical know-how in the teachers? As far as you don't have teachers for subjects like mathematics, science, and, even, other computer science and other subjects. Instead of this being your focus, Mohan Krishna, I'd like to ask you, last year this was something that was brought upon you. It was made a big issue in terms of textbook revisions.
Very good evening, Deepak. I heard very patiently Samrudh Hegde talking very fantastically about his manifesto. I would like to reiterate it on their manifesto. And Deepak, can't you laugh? Are you not laughing? Nayan Parikh, you have heard Education Minister, who has to review his dressing census, has started reviewing the education system. First thing. Second thing, now this government has come to power into existence in last 1 month, maximum 20 days before. They are in a hurry to implement these things and not to implement their guarantees for which they have been elected to the power. That's one thing. Second thing, they are diverting the issue from their guarantees where they are not able to fulfill the promises by giving so many excuses to the people of the Karnataka.
Well, Mohan Krishna, let's not get into this political debate. Today is not about politics. The exact reason why we are having this debate is because, Mr. Mohan Krishna, that let's not debate on politics. Let's not go into the guarantees once again. Go ahead. Go ahead, but let's not get into politics once again. We are talking about the students.
Yes, Mr. Madhu Bangarap, Education Minister, said he is not politicizing the issue. At the same time, he is saying they are interested in implementing their manifesto. What does it mean, Deepak? Is it not political motive? What are they talking? They are fooling people like anything for the people, for anything like this? Is it not politicizing? Mr. Samrudh Hegde, you gave a big lecture. Do you know after how many years the central government has reviewed the textbook committee, NCERT? After 35 years. What were you doing when you were in power? What were you doing? And you were not in a hurry then. Today you are in a hurry because Yatha Raja Tata Praja. Our Honorable CM wants all these things to be removed. And they have promised in the manifesto that is absolutely political, and let them go and talk to the students. I will ask a simple question to Samrudh Hegde and Education Minister today. Have students already given feedback to them that these are all good, these are all not good things? How is he taking a decision? How is he taking a decision? It is purely political.
Well, Mohan Krishna, I'll have to interrupt there. If you are talking about students in class 3, 4, you're not going to ask them what they have to learn. That's not a choice that you do. You, in fact, prepare what's good for them in terms of academics. That is where an expert committee comes in. The question is, why did the BJP, Mr. Mohan Krishna, I'm asking you a specific question. Why did the BJP prioritize politics over students? Because from the last, 4 years that you have been in power, earlier as well, there have been issues in terms of, you know that there has been a shortage of teachers across the state of Karnataka. You know that as far as e-learning is concerned, it's not reached all the government schools. You know there are lack of classrooms. Of course, last year you did bring a proposal, and that too you said, you'll bring in classrooms, but you said Viveka classrooms. And even there was a tinge of, saffronization of education. The question is, why are we not leaving students out of politics?
To say saffronizing? Are you a political commentator? How can you say we have saffronized?
I am asking you a question. You are the political commentator. I am asking you a question. Don't.
I'm telling you.
No, I am being very unbiased. I'm asking the Congress and the BJP. I'm telling, well, Mr. Mohan Krishna, both the BJP and the Congress here, I'm asking both of y'all to not politicize education of students. Focus on things that matter in the schools.
BJP has saffronized. You are not supposed to talk like that.
I didn't speak about saffronization. I spoke about you talking about new schools that will come, that will be, you name them Viveka classrooms. I said even that had a tinge of politics to it.
Is Vivekananda is not a idol for the country? Can't you accept that? You want only Macaulay system? You want only Karl Marx system?
Mr. Mohan Krishna, this is not... No, Mr. Mohan Krishna, this is not about,
Deepak,
whether this person is good for the country or not. I am saying, why aren't we prioritizing the right things?
Please listen to me first.
You go ahead, but also answer my question. I answer my question as well.
You are not a political
Well, Mr. Mohan Krishna, please do not lecture me on what I am supposed to say. I am asking you the right thing in terms of what do the students in Karnataka need. Do they need enough teachers? Do they need quality education? Do they need their quality midday meals that they should get? Is this something that's priority or making these revisions year after year?
That's what I was coming to the point. You were in a hurry like Congress and you are talking in between. Now I am coming to the point. The infrastructure is very important for the students. Second thing, appointment of teachers. We have taken a very transparent way of appointment of teachers. Even the High Court has accepted that. And there was a petition, and even after the petition, we have reviewed it. And we have appointed 13,000 teachers. And you can go and check, fact check. And this was done not in a hurry, with a very transparent system. You are talking about Viveka. Vivekananda is an idol for India. He has made India pride. What's wrong in putting his Viveka name? That children understand who is Vivekananda. It is not just Karl Marx. It is not just Tipu Sultan and other things. They should understand Vivekananda also. For that matter, it is there. What's wrong in it? And coming to the point,
well, Mr. Samrud, I want to ask you. I want to ask you now, Mr. Samrud. Now, Mr. Mohan Krishna says Tipu Sultan. Are you going to build more classrooms and call it Tipu classrooms? Is this what we need for the students?
That is exactly
now, instead of the education minister, firstly, I know, Mr. Samrud, I'd like to ask you as well, because this is not about the BJP or the Congress. This is about students, like I'm saying.
He's not politicizing, but he says that he is implementing his manifesto. That is as good as politicizing only.
Deepak, that is exactly what I'm trying to say. We are not going to politicize the education system.
On,
we are not going to come and bring in an agenda into the... We're not going to bring in an agenda into the political system. We need to equip... Sir, let me speak, sir, kindly. I let you speak, I remain quiet. We are going to bring changes to the education system, whether it be in appointment of teachers, whether it be in improvement of infrastructure, but most importantly...
But why isn't this not being spoken about? Why isn't this being spoken about, Mr. Samrud? That's the question. Why this is not the, the education minister, as soon as he...
Deepak, that is exactly what the education minister told you today. The BJP do not want the children of the government school to get educated for the future. They want only their leaders' children to go to Harvard, to go to Oxford, to go to Cambridge and get the best education. They do not want the children of our government school, of our Karnataka, to develop in their lives. That is the agenda of the BJP. That is the agenda of the BJP. We want to keep...
I'm going to bring in Mr. Nayan. He's been a spectator for the last 10 minutes, while of course we've been talking a lot of politics. Mr. Nayan Parikh, you've been an educationist. You've seen, of course, private and, the government sector in terms of, how the students have been getting education. What are the lacunas that we have? Where should the focus really be for the political parties?
I think political parties should try and get away from the nitty-gritties of education. I think that would be the best service that they can do. Their political skills should be used more for political purposes. Education is better left to educationists and people who are experts in these areas. So if we hear both the party spokesperson, we feel that they consider themselves also to be experts on education. While one has full respect for them, for their political skills, how about leaving this to the educationists and in the interest of students? So there is UN Charter for students' rights. There is a constitution which defines right of children for education. In that context, how do we define a long-term policy for education for a state? Which means that in Karnataka, when the party changes, the education policy need not change. Can we have a long-term education policy, which is, say, an authority which cannot be politicized, which means that we have an education policy which would be there for a reasonable long period, like say 10 years or 15, 20 years, so that each political party would not promise and change the education and consider a change in education which happens during mid-year, like we are considering now. I think that would really kind of, create a havoc for the students, for the teachers. It is not simply changing of the syllabus. The teachers need to learn how to teach.
Absolutely. Mr. Nayan, I 100% agree with you there. I 100% agree with you there. It's the students, of course, year after year with these revisions that are completely affected. You have the teachers already, of course, who have their own sets of challenges. In some classrooms in government schools in Karnataka, there are up to 100 students and one teacher. Now, this teacher has to deal with, syllabus and textbooks changing year after year. The question is, why can't the opposition and the government sit together, form a panel in consensus and ensure that this is there for about, maybe 5 years? And this shouldn't have anything to do with politics. I want to ask both the BJP and the Congress here. Firstly, let's come to the Congress. Do you think that this should be the way forward, Mr. Samrud? That probably have, a unanimous consent as to who is going to be a part of this panel, not have somebody who's ideologically inclined to your party?
I definitely agree with Mr. Nayan Parikh about how political parties should stay away from education and the syllabus that should be imposed. But when it comes to the current situation right now, the education minister has made it clear to you, Deepak, that we have formed such a panel. We have formed such a panel with experts on the subject, and they will take the decision. Right? That is what we are trying to do. Our policy has not yet come. Our policy is not yet fully out. And you're already jumping the gun and saying, will you remove this? Will you remove that? Let the panel decide. Let the technical committee decide. Let the policy come out. Then we can sit and debate on it. It seems as if the BJP is suffering from
that's the word from the Congress. Of course, it's only a few days. The education minister... Samrud,
okay, come in, please.
Well, Samrud, you did make a point there. Well, a quick word from Mr. Mohan Krishna there.
I'll just come in for a minute.
Well, a quick word.
Let Samrud Hegde, who is the spokesperson of the Congress, clarify today to the people of Karnataka and this panel today, whether education minister has used the manifesto word. Why did he use that then? If he is not politicizing. If it is a technical committee they are making, let them make it there. They have every right to do it. They have every right to do it. They can review it. But he says, I was the vice chairman of the manifesto committee. So we have to review. We have promised to our people in the manifesto. So we have to review the education system. That is what is the triggering point. That's what is the triggering point.
Our manifesto was elected.
Well, Mr. Mohan Krishna, Mr. Mohan Krishna and Mr. Samrud, let's put an end to this here. Let's put an end to this here. Mr. Samrud mentioned one key point. He said that the education minister has said that we have a panel. We are going to look into the interests of the people. Well, he is definitely said in the next couple of weeks, within the next couple of weeks, this decision is going to be taken. Let's see if the Congress really leaves politics out of this. Because if they are going to omit exactly what, they feel ideologically does not suit the Congress or anything like that, then once again, of course, we're going to ask this question to the Congress party, whether they're again playing politics with the lives of the students. That's all we have on this particular topic. We're going to move on. I'm thanking all our guests for joining us.